Okay, we're gonna see how well this goes. Hi, I'm Oliver, and today I will be doing a sketchbook tour of, technically it's my second one. I've never done a sketchbook tour before, so we're gonna see how this goes. I have this one that is even older than the one that I'm showing off today, which if you want to see it, let me know. This one is, let's look quickly, from 2022 to 2025. This one is significantly less time. I finished this one, I think in February? Yeah, February 21st of 2026, and I started it April 12th. So we're basically just gonna go into it and talk about it, and yeah, I don't know. So to start off with the cover here, I like to decorate my sketchbooks in a way, and with my new one that I have right here, I'm gonna miss a lot of the stickers that I have on this one, that I can't bring onto this guy. Like this one I really like. Yeah, so I can kind of talk about the stickers, I suppose, first. But we have mouthwashing, and then my character Venus from Lucid Worlds, my neighbor Totoro, a Behero clown, I keep forgetting the pronunciation, one of these little guys, one of my little stickers that I have made many of, Arlo from Lucid Worlds, a pigeon with a tie, which is also really cute, a little star, and then on the back we have Victor from Arcane, Pear Baby, which I think I'm gonna miss the most. I got it at a local event, I guess. We then have this guy, which I also got from a local shop, and then Professional Fool, which I got from the same, not the same like person, but the same event. So yeah, let's get into it. I wanted to do drawings of like myself at the beginning, at the end. I did a more simplified style this time around. I find that drawing myself with the little beady eyes is easier than drawing like regular, but it's fine. This is all like notebook stuff, which I skipped, but starting off, we have this page. I liked doing this one. It wasn't terrible. I don't know. A motorcycle just passed. And there's this one. I had this cat calendar last year, that if you ripped it off, you would have a new thing. I just picked it off and I'm like, okay, sure, we'll make this like the kind of vibe. I think that 2025 was my year of like circusy 1920s stuff. So yeah. This was for my short film that I have up on YouTube. If you want to check it out, I'll link it up in the corner. But it was really fun to go into like my own culture, because I think I've mentioned this before, but I am indigenous, so it was like an interesting way to bring in my own culture into it. Same thing with continuing, we don't mind this. But yeah, little animal studies and stuff like that. I still need to finish Dream Barbecue actually, but I had like a short phase of being super obsessed with Enna. I think that Enna's concept is really interesting. I like the dual personality. And then these are all my friend's drawings. A painting idea that I wanted to do, which I still haven't done yet, which is unfortunate. My little guy, this was actually, I think, the first drawings of him and stuff like that. He wasn't fully figured out, and I think this is when I actually started being like, yeah, like this is who the new mascot's gonna be for the channel, from the skull person. This is the mountain that I live near in my house that I drew on June 14th. This is when the trend that was going on where it's like pass the page back and forth. So my friend that was actually just on the channel, Riley, was red and I was blue. And I started off with the red rabbit, and then the white rabbit, and then we just kind of worked around that, which was really fun. Some concepts for Always the Fool, and a project that I had to do for an English class over the summer. I had to do like a poetry assignment to a video, and so I did my favorite one, which I have a tattoo of, which is the two-headed calf story. Oh my gosh, the first appearance of Always the Fool. I think I showed this in a short, but I don't know if I showed it in the video that I did about it a couple months ago. It's currently kind of paused just because life and everything is going by super crazy, but just a lot of like development of, well, not development, but like starting to develop these characters. Harvey looks so different now. I hated how he looked in this phase, but he looks a lot different now, I swear. And then Peter and, oh my gosh, I just was on her page. Charisse. I really like these drawings, I think, like, especially Peter. I love how he turned out. Charisse also changed a lot from her designs at this point. Mainly her, like, dress and way of, like, style changed. But yeah. More stuff, a mask that I wanted to do, which did not turn out at all. And then this was me starting to talk about Sheridan, which is the school that I want to go to, which has a very intimidating portfolio thing, and you'll see just a lot more portfolio, like brainstorming and practice in this, especially for figure drawing. So I was doing a lot of anatomy stuff, and I don't like how these skulls turned out, but we don't talk about that. Arms. And then this is where we started to go into figure drawing, and I had not done figure drawing in like months at this point. I was doing it a lot in my other sketchbook, but I took like a long break in between, which is not preferred. Some shapes. But yeah. And I was trying to put notes, but I guess like I'm not the best person to put notes on my own figure drawing, so I kind of stopped doing that after a while. But yeah. And then this was I think this was around, this is August 8th. Already past my birthday at this point. But I had tried to redesign Harvey because I really did not like how he was looking. And this is also like iffy. So yeah, just a lot of figure drawing. Too much at times, but I guess there's never too much. Because I was very much worried about it going into it. Don't look at the baby. On what I would do, because it's not my strong suit. I do take like a decently long time to draw things, so this was definitely a lot more exploratory. Or I guess out of my comfort zone is more the way to describe it. And this was my beginning schedule for what I would do for it all, which I ended up completely switching, because I dedicated so much time to figure drawing, and I was like kind of not doing anything else, and that really killed a lot of my progress, despite the fact that I ended up not needing as much time as I like dedicated. But yeah, more concept. I finally kind of like narrowed down what Harvey's design was going to be, and I'm honestly far more happier with how it has come out at this point. And of course all that stuff was shown already in that short that I did that I was talking about earlier. But yeah. Oh, and then this is for a collab that actually has not come out yet, which hopefully will come out soon, I think I was hearing. It's Miraculous Ladybug, if anybody has watched it. I was like struggling. I did this and then I forgot about it, and then I had to I remembered. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get on this. The Peacock Miraculous is such an interesting one to do because they're the most outrageous ones, and so I had to like kind of balance whether or not I wanted to go super outrageous with it, like have my character be with a regular skin tone, but I can't remember. I think I didn't include the regular skin tone. I think I wanted to keep it that way, that was close to the original, and I did not. Maybe I did keep the bow tie. We'll see. I don't know. But yeah, I really like these expressions in the corner. I don't know how I'm gonna show this, but they have like her hair would turn up in a certain way. What is below this? Oh, nothing. Nada. More figure drawing, of course. my raccoon. I really like this page. This is like one that I really enjoy because I don't draw animals very often, and this is my first like animal study that I did, and I was like, damn, I didn't know I could do that. So I drew some raccoons and I enjoyed it a lot. And then this was the start of my art class for this year. I had to do a portfolio cover, which is what the design was basically just this. Kind of to illustrate who I am and what I wanted to do in the class, I guess. Or just who I was, I guess. I don't know. And so a lot of it, like I was mentioning earlier, like this year was primarily my 1920s clown era, and I think I'm still in that era, not gonna lie. But I included a lot of like inspiration from that and theater. Theater and me are like this, I fear. Especially this semester I'm doing a musical. And so I wanted to include stuff like that. I have the MC from Cabaret there, because Cabaret has also changed like a lot of my interests and a lot of the way that I look at the world, and stuff like that. And I have 2D from Gorillaz also there, that's featured on the puppeteer character, that's on this side of the composition. And then my two cats, Brutus is no longer with us at this point, but I wanted to memorialize him there, and then my cat Mustache, who is still with us. Yeah. More figure drawing. Who would have thunk it? That's like the majority of the sketchbook. I think that's why I finished it so fast, because it was a lot sooner than the rest of it. Or my other one, sorry. And then here we have my starts for my layouts for my portfolio. You can see some of them are exterior, some of them are interior. I knew that I needed one exterior and one interior, and surprisingly, I started with the exterior. Like conceptually, I didn't end up doing that with the original, or like with like executing them. I started with the interior, and it started off with this one, and I posted my interior. So if you see this and you're like, whoa, that looks nothing like it, it's because it literally looks nothing like it. I do like all of these concepts though that I did. This one was pretty boring, and I'm glad that I didn't go with it, because I think that a lot of people do like the kitchen cozy background idea, so I'm glad I didn't do that. But I kind of wish that I did this sort of like theater view, and I liked this symmetrical museum, but it didn't really like have a lot of interesting perspective, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of glad I didn't do that. But yeah, so I ended up going with that, so keep that in mind, because I think I developed it not like soon, but like later in the book. A koala sketch. I don't really like these koalas, but it's okay. Oh, here we go. Okay, so it wasn't actually that far. So I started off with this, and I was like, yeah, like this will be what it looks like. And then I have an art teacher outside of my regular school, and he's like, yeah, like, you know, you should just try more. And so I was trying more, and I got a suggestion from my stepdad that he was like, because originally it was just supposed to be a murder mystery scene, like she was cleaning up herself, or like she had like, she's just putting on lipstick, and so it's maintaining the 1920s vibe that I was talking about earlier, right? So my stepdad was like, oh, if it's a bathroom, then like you should have like somebody's hand like poking out of the tub, and I'm like, maybe. And so these concepts all kind of go more into depth with that. I know it's very hard to see just because the quality and also the fact that it's farther away, and I fear my computer screen is like right here, so but at number 2 you have her sitting at the sink and like looking over the corner to see. Same thing here, but it's just a little bit more close up. Same thing, more closed in. Kind of this, but a little bit zoomed out, and then swapped. And I was like, oh, I really like the idea of it being swapped, like she's in the background and then we just see this like figure in the tub. And so I started by doing it a little bit bigger. I have a bigger sketch figuring out what the room would look like, because it does this weird like out wall in, out again, because this would be where the door would be. And then we have the bigger picture of everything, like finalizing it all. And then you have like the design that what I did, and then the design of this. And in the final version, I end up having like a lot of story behind it. I'll put it up here. What it ended up looking like, which I'm really proud of. Like in the background, there's a lot more room between the height of this and the rest of the wall. So I ended up putting a lot of picture frames up, and in the picture frames there's a lot of story that gets told in it. So yeah, this was for a show that I had to do in class. I have the final artwork up on my wall actually, but I'm not going to grab it because it is kind of pinned into the wall. But this piece meant a lot because I had started this as an attempt to be like, yeah, this is where like the beauty of life and a creature that's based off of like a siren and a mix of a I forget what it's called, but it's from Serbian culture, basically just a Slavic, like it had multiple arms and multiple horns and stuff like that, and I was like, okay, so creepy creatures looking at this very cute little like I think they're called sea sheep or something like that. They're very cute. So something scary looking at this creature and it's glowing. It's the beauty of life is what I wanted to show, and that no matter who you are or where you came from, life is beautiful. And it means a lot more to me now because, like I said before, my cat passed away, and he was like a big part of like my life and my happiness when I got home from the day. And so I dedicated this one to him by calling it Brutus. So it was titled that at the art show. Next, we have what was supposed to be my exterior. And I realized that after, I think at this point, I had received the the requirements for the portfolio. I was just going off of like previous requirements at that point, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, like it'll be fine. And so I was supposed to do this like abandoned train stop, and I really liked the idea, and I had gotten to the point of fully drawing it on this bigger sketchbook that I had, and it was ready to be scanned. I realized after, and I think I talk about it later in this book, but it didn't actually end up working that way because it's supposed to be mainly outdoors with a like if you wanted to, with an interior idea. I did mainly interior. Technically it's exterior because it's an open space, but it is primarily man-made objects, and so I was like, fuck, what am I supposed to do? And so I had to ditch that idea eventually. And then this is for another art project, again taking my indigenous culture and putting it into things, because this was around the time of Orange Shirt Day or Truth and Reconciliation Day in Canada, and a lot of people were laughing around me, and it was just like really disrespectful to see that, and I was quite upset, rightfully so, I think. And so I wanted to include this idea that despite the fact that we have infinite abilities to look things up or to educate ourselves, censorship and the kind of like ignorance of just acknowledging our past and thinking that we're just the nicest country in the world is arguably very apparent, and it's ridiculous, and it just sucks that we don't try to educate ourselves and we just blindly judge. And so I wanted to execute that with like pop-ups and stuff like that in my piece. But yeah, this is more of the collaboration I was talking about earlier with the Miraculous Ladybug stuff, that's what it is. I ended up putting as a keychain because I was like, I don't like the bow tie idea. I feel like it makes me look like a nerd, so I did not do that. And I went with, again, a more 1920s character, which I'm really proud of how it turned out, so yeah. I didn't end up finishing this one, nor do I like it. Birds are surprisingly more hard than literally any other animal, and especially an owl, because they don't, like, they're little weirdos, I must admit. This was the start of Inktober. I did not finish Inktober in any way, shape, or form, but I did start it, and that's all that matters. Yeah. This was designed for Peter's parents, again for Always the Fool. I was like, because I wanted to use it for a TikTok that I never ended up doing, and it was also just something that I would have to do eventually, and so they were in their cute moment. More stuff, even more, and these were like for class. We had like a class prompt list, and then we just had the regular prompt list, and I was attempting to do both. But yeah, I like how this one turned out. I don't like this one. We don't look at this. And then this is the TikTok that I was talking about. I don't know what song it was, but it was a song that was going around, and it was really good, and I want to do it again, but I don't think it's trending anymore, so it's really unfortunate. I also don't really know what I was talking about in this, but yeah, I was basically just talking about the fact that he feels guilty for his parents and stuff like that. Diva Bat was one of the prompt days. This was for something really cool. We had to do a movie scene into a graphic novel page. I ended up doing 3 graphic novel pages instead of 1, and these things were huge. I'm literally looking at it right now, but it was a very fun project to do, and somehow, despite the fact that we had like a whole month to do it, I finished it in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I finished early, and I did 3 pages, and then by the time that I finished, there was only like 2 other people that were done. So that was mind-boggling to me, because I was like, I thought like, you know, it wouldn't take that long for everybody, but to each their own, I fear. But this was really fun, and like simplifying my style more definitely was good, because trying to because I like the dot eyes, honestly. I really like that style, and I mainly got that from Hypomania, but I really like how this turned out in the final thing, and I wanted to explain that, or not explain that, explore that more, so that I could like use that maybe for Always the Fool or for something like that, you know. This is for an envelope project. There's the Edward Gorey Foundation, and they do a competition every year where you send in an envelope design, and then da-da-da-da. So I went more Alice in Wonderland idea or aesthetic with that. I really like Alice in Wonderland. It's definitely been a huge inspiration for me personally. I loved the quirkiness of it as a kid, and I rewatched Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland like 30 times as a kid, and it was my favorite thing ever. I think this is like near the end of like my attempting with Inktober, I fear. Yeah, I think this was my last page, and it was a Little Nightmares page. And then my updated portfolio timeline, because I was like, I need to lock in, I fear, with my little checklist, which is all checked out. And so I started. I had like other times in there, but yeah, I ended up finishing it by the end of December, which was crazy, because I was like fully expecting, like, you can see that I planned out time in January, because the early acceptance deadline was the 6th, And so I submitted it on the 4th of January. I gave myself time. I was like, okay, cool. And so I had a long time before, like, it's been, what, 2 months now? Over 2 months since I submitted it. I still have not heard back yet, which is terrifying. But we are slowly waiting. Oh, okay, here we go. This is when I figured out that I needed to change my exterior, and I was panicking. And so I had some ideas that I liked. I was going to take from the envelope project that I did, but I was like, no. I ended up using an old concept, and I was like, maybe. I liked this one a lot. It was like, I can't remember what it was supposed to be, but I think it was supposed to be like a friend of the forest, and oh no, it was picking flowers. It says it right there, and I'm blind, Jesus. But hold on. Yeah, picking flowers and then being surrounded, and it was like framing the shot. So I guess it was also pretty symmetrical, or no, rule of thirds, I suppose. And then I was like, okay, how about a Baba Yaga house? So exploring all this, I definitely did not go with my first thumbnail. I ended up going with similar to my last one. And so I took the two concepts that I liked, and I ended up really loving this idea, and I ended up doing it. I said to myself, I'm like, okay, cool. So I did a more like dainty character for my first one. I'll do a like big blocky character. Like this is just some hiker that's like having this house follow them around, like found friendship kind of thing. And I like drew small concepts here, and then this was like the quickest that I'd done it, by the way. Like I did the concept, the big sketch, and the scanning onto my computer within like 3 hours, which was crazy. And then I ended up like finishing it like 3 days later. And so I like drew it, and I didn't draw much of details onto the actual character until I got onto the digital portion of it. And I went Howl's Moving Castle full way through. Just made him a very feathery guy, and I included feathers onto the thing just to show that they were connected. And again, I'll show it here. But he definitely turned it a lot more angular than a square, but I liked it. This is plans for my character rotation. I really like Little Nightmares, and I think I've mentioned this before. Little Nightmares is my favorite thing ever, and it inspires me a lot. And so I wanted to kind of take inspiration from that, because a lot of my Pinterest boards at the time were focusing on these like stuffed animals that are kind of worn down, but they're circusy, and I was like, I love that idea. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll do it with a raccoon, because I had really liked drawing raccoons before. And then I was like, that makes no sense for a circus. There's no raccoon circus clowns or circus things. So I was like, okay, cool. So I was balancing between the idea of doing an acrobat or doing a circus bear. And I ended up doing a circus bear, which I think I did not include in this. I included like rough concept sketches later, but I didn't have the finished design really in this book. But I can put up what that looked like here. So yeah, I had like a whole story idea, and then I was trying to execute it, and then I had to redo the 3/4 view like many times because I just couldn't figure out. It was mainly the back 3/4, I must admit. Back 3/4 is like the hardest thing ever. But yeah, then I was doing the storyboards, and I dedicated so much time, like in my plans, I dedicated so much time to the storyboards because every single year everybody's like, the storyboards are so hard, the storyboards are so hard. And I went to the open house for Sheridan, and they're like, just don't be so solidified with it, and like be looser with your things. And I was like, okay, cool. So I just gotta figure out how to turn this thing into it. So I did a little bit of planning here. and just like notes, so that's not much. And I was trying to draw the guy, but yeah. This was for my envelope, and then this was for a sculptural project I had to do. I focused on residential schools for that, and then this was my starting for my planning for my storyboards. My dad is a chef, and I wanted to kind of have some ode to my father with this, so this for you. And so it's basically just about this young cat that, what's it called? The young cat that tries his mom's recipe and then like is inspired, and so he ends up practicing. He goes to college for culinary school and is trying so hard to be trying so hard to open his own restaurant, and then he ends up opening his own restaurant, and then he serves his mom for his first dish or something like that. And it changed a lot after the sketches. So like these sketches, while somewhat accurate to the plot, are not entirely accurate to what actually came out. But yeah. Oh, and this is the design that I ended up landing on for the circus bear. And this is the acrobat. I was like I'm kind of like sad that I didn't try the acrobat, but I really like how the circus bear turned out in the final one. This was all the math that I had to do for my sculpture, because I sculpted the hand, and then on top of it I needed to include like an actual building for my concept. So I was like, okay, cool, we're gonna doing the math and everything. Last minute storyboard stuff, and then stuff for my animation. I ended up doing this sort of like the hard drive like walks up to this button, presses on it, and it doesn't work, and so he keeps pressing on it, and then there's TVs behind him and they illuminate, and it's like this like scary eye or something, and he looks over and he's scared and he jumps up and then falls down. This was for something I had to do for club fair for my school, and then I was trying to do the 100 faces challenge, and I've still only gotten to 4. But yeah, what are you gonna do? These are my storyboards for the animation. And then I was like, okay, I need to do personal work. And I developed these 2 characters named Vicky and Raymond. You can see Raymond here. But Vicky was like the one that I was like immediately on top of drawing, and like I sketched her before, like just passively on like a paper towel, and I took a photo of it because I'm like, yeah, that's cute. And so I was like, what do I get to do? I wanted to go cyberpunk, but I don't know where we ended up, because I somehow managed to go sharp and angular, and it's almost retrofuturism, but not really. So I don't know. But yeah, and then this is for my self-portrait that I had to do, which was really cool to do. It's about like mental health and like beating yourself up for things that you shouldn't really be doing, and so I can kind of show you. Oh, I'm upside down, I forgot about that, but that's how it turned out. It was a fun portrait to do. Oh, we're gonna skip these pages because those are like blatant, like those past 2 pages were figure drawings that I did, and they are a little bit more explicit than or not explicit, but so yeah. And these are Raymond and Vicky, and I think I posted these in my Discord when I was planning them and stuff like that. So this is how they turned out, kind of complete opposites, but they love each other, little husband and wife action. So yeah. This was a drawing that I did at Christmas of my sister and just like the couch. I wanted to do a logo, and so this is what it ended up looking like. I drew Lefty from FNAF, and then I was doing some sketches for the mood board project. That was the last video. This was a very non-done all the way through sketch of my school. Somebody sat like right in front of me. It was one of my friends. She sat down because she got there a little bit later than everybody else did, and so it was like, oh, well, I don't want to have to draw her now if she doesn't want to be drawn. because I was also in the middle of talking. And so I was like, I'll do it tomorrow, and then I ended up not doing it tomorrow, and that was like at the end of the semester, and now I don't show up in the morning, so I don't sit down like that anymore. This was something I did for my sketchbook. Something I did because I got inspired from another page in my old sketchbook. And it's literally just like, this is one of the funnest things ever, and I think I saw it in a Lavender Town video like 6 years ago, and I only did it last year and then again this year. You literally take like a highlighter or a marker or something and just draw random shapes on your paper, and then after that you just go back and you start drawing. Like, okay, like what do I see from this shape here? And I'm like, okay, this is hair and this is a face. This is a really fun thing to do when you're bored, and it's a great sketchbook filler, so I recommend to do that. Here is a page that's unfinished technically because I should have done, there's supposed to be a watering can here and paint marker, and then she was supposed to get colored in, but I did not do that. And then over here, I was doing this randomized character design project, well, not project, but randomized character design prompt list, just to fill the rest of the sketchbook out, and the first one that I pulled was a gamer, so I did a gamer. I think she's pretty cool. She got some flair to her, so yeah. I went on vacation in Niagara Falls, so I drew the water park that's there, and then I did the same thing because I was bored in the hotel room, and so I just drew a bunch of clown related little guys. What is this? Oh, I wanted to do, this is planning for something that I'm hopefully going to do, which is an art series about something, I don't know. And then Reanimal. If you haven't watched a playthrough of Reanimal, watch it because it's actually so good. And I had to draw them, and I wanted to keep drawing them, honestly. I want to draw them again. But they're silly little guys, and I love them so much, and I need that game. I need more content on the game. I feel like not a lot has come out about Reanimal, and I just need more to be out there. I drew a knight character, and I was like, you know, might as well draw a fox, because why not? So this is Fox Lady Knight. And then for my second to last page, I drew Raymond and Vicky again because, I don't know, I just wanted to, so I did. Vicky, I think, is my favorite to draw. Her hair is so fun. Same with her face, like she's always looking kind of pissed, and then Raymond has his mustache that'll, like, go up and down, whether or not he's feeling happy or sad, but well, my little station oddity characters. And then to finish off my sketchbook, I wanted to start with where we left off, you know, at the beginning. At the beginning, and redraw a page, which I think I honestly want to do for all my sketchbooks moving forward. I think it's just a way of summing up how much you've grown in that time, and like, sure, like I didn't like, this wasn't a super long sketchbook unlike my other ones. It's pretty short actually. It wasn't even a full year that I had this one, but that still doesn't like take away from the fact that it went through a lot, and like I changed clearly a lot based off of how the showman looks in my style now versus what it looked like a year ago. But yeah, the sketchbook was really fun to fill out, and now my blue period is over, and now it's red time. But yeah, and then I have some more stickers in here. Cat bus, one of the Teletubbies, egg, and then a sticker that I got from buying the Now Now vinyl by Gorillas. My voice is like gone, and this is a 43-minute video that I have to edit now. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This is a really fun thing to do, and if you want to see more, like if you want to see that black sketchbook that I was talking about at the beginning, let me know. I would love to share that one with you. That one is far longer of a time frame than this one, so you'll definitely see a lot of more crazy drawings in that one. But thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day or night, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!